All right, guys, I just went on an excavation tour of my paint boxes, digging for a specialty green that I thought I had, but evidently I don't. But that's all right. It'll just be a lesson in making do. The truth is, you often just don't need all the specialty colors and that you think you do. You can get there by different means, and that's what I'm going to have to do today. So, a little sub-demo for you. I did find some rose madder that is a red, earthy, pinkish red that I love, but I rarely use. But I think it's the perfect tonality to add to the water here. So I'm going to start by washing my mid-sized mop brush out, so I just end up with clear water in it. And I'm going to paint over everything up here. Now remember, this is the area that I want the water to be the lightest, so it's just clear water, adding no color at all. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to toggle that into this rose madder wash, and then I won't end up with a harsh line. It'll be a organic transition. This rose madder is a very delicate color and dries quite light, so I'm using it a little stronger than I think maybe I should, because hopefully it will dry right where I want it. For this pass, I'm going over much of the lower surface of the painting, almost as if an underpainting, to give it a warm glow that I hope will stay there throughout the painting. Here I'm toggling out to sort of a violet gray for the bottom. This is an imperial purple, Daniel Smith, with a little bit of neutral tint mixed in. So a soft, transparent, purplish gray that I think should play well with the rose madder. Here and there, I'm not planning them, but I'm hoping that these kind of little skip marks will appear, that I want to be pretty much the only horizontal identity this water is going to have. Also, they will hopefully somewhat feel like little speckles on the water from the misty rain that was falling that day. Into this wet wash, I'm with the point of this mop brush, I'm just dragging in the beginnings of some of the reflections that are going to be there. Just right over the top of everything. These won't be complete, but I think they'll be enough to establish where I want them. And in some places, they may turn out to be all that I'll need before I'm done. Okay, so what I'm doing is I always work my paintings up from the lightest light to the darkest dark. Well, that's not true. Not always. 90% of the time. 95% probably. The lightest light, of course, is the untouched bits of the paper. And so therefore, the darkest darks are the last to happen, which will be primarily here. And then the first colors then I begin with are the lighter to the darker midtones. I'm resisting the urge to do anything more like that. I don't want to add any unnecessary horizontality to this water. So to that end, I like that. I don't want to disturb it, but I think the bottom portion of the painting I'm going to mist slightly. Not enough to wash off the pigment, but just enough to encourage those tones to run together. I'm going to tilt the board up to increase the amount of gravity, which helps all those tones meld together organically. Gravity is a great painting tool. I paint on a tilted board always. It's a little flatter for camera than I would paint if I were just here by myself, but this is probably about a 20-degree angle. I usually paint at around a 30, 35-degree angle or something like that, but always on a, I tape or fix my painting surface down to a board and keep it loose so that I can manually turn it this way, that way, up, down to either increase the amount of flow or decrease the speed of transition. It's just enormously helpful to use gravity to your own good effect if you can do it. Very often I'll see painters in classes keep their boards flat on their tables or work surface, and then blossoms and streaks begin to happen and they don't know why. And very often, if you just tilt your board up, acknowledge the power of gravity, they go away. All those blossoms. Especially if your work quite wet. Gravity is essential. All right, I'm going to do a similar tonal treatment to the background, just to isolate the lightest lights here. And so to do so, I have to flip the painting upside down. I can't do that until this sets a little bit, so just give me a minute and I'll be right back with you.